Jones moves up, and he has it at the 5. Lamb Jones to the 10. Hands it off on a reverse. They bring it back around to the 11-yard line. It was Randy Harrison who made the tackle. Reverse play given off to Johnson. He is the safety man, the punt returner, Johnny Johnson, who also can fly. The Longhorns have it first and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
Well, they were trying to surprise the Notre Dame special teams right away.
Texas ran a lot of reverses on kickoffs last year, but to my knowledge, that's the first time they've tried it this season. It backfired, but at least you know they're bringing it to them.
Cinderella quarterback McEachin brings them up. Split back off the veer. McEachin handing it off to Earl Campbell. Who else? And Earl gets up to the 14-yard line for 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. Jeff Weston in to make the tackle for Notre Dame. There's the Notre Dame defense. Browner, Dyke, Golick, Calhoun, and Fry. Linebackers, Heimkreider and Becker. And the D-backs, Bradley Bergmeyer on the corners, Jim Browner, and Resticker deep. Second down play coming.
Texas will both run the veer and the I formation with Campbell being the D-back.
They're in the I formation now. This is Campbell. Got just about to the 15-yard line, and that was all. Bob Golick was in there to make the tackle.
Lindsey, Texas may have to open it up. There is a little bit of a physical mismatch up front. Notre Dame much bigger than Texas, so maybe pounding away is not going to get it.
Well, I mentioned at the top of the show, Paul, that Texas is quicker, no question about that. Now, the average offensive line for Texas averages about 232, and the average defense for the Irish will go about 245.
Third down and 5 yards to go for Texas. And McEachin throws, and it is complete to his tight end. It was taken by Gil Harris. Gil Harris took it to tight end. Across the 35.
Here it is, play action off the veer. Holds the linebackers with the fake, and McEachin was going to number 82, Gil Harris, his tight end, all the way, stopped by Joe Resticker.
Old Gil's a sophomore from Longview. He's not really renowned as a receiver. He's kind of small for a tight end. He's only caught 8 passes this year, but he's a good clutch receiver, as you see there.
First down and 10 yards to go, and the ball's across the 35-yard line. They're in the slot right. Leave it on the ground again to Campbell, and Earl Campbell, the Heisman winner, goes to the 45-yard line.
I tell you, he runs like a truck inside and like a thoroughbred outside. He's got it all. Straight handoff off the left side behind good blocking. Rick Ingram and George James on the left side. And you see Campbell doing what he can do best. He slides outside, and he's tough to bring down.
Super block by Ingram, wasn't it? As a matter of fact, he had a knee injury all year long, Paul, and coaches wanted him to sit out this year as the red shirt, but he decided, no way I'm missing this.
Second down and a yard to go at the 45-yard line. That's McEachin. Gonna throw it, and going long to Jackson. Bergmeyer covering, incomplete. That's going to be an incompletion. That's the luxury down, so now it's still 3rd and 1 at the 45.
That's the matchup I think Texas is looking for. Ted Bergmeyer, not as quick as both the flankers. Here it is, play action. He fake it to Earl Campbell. Now they've got a matchup of Alfred Jackson against Ted Bergmeyer, and McEachin just comes up a little bit short.
Good job of coverage that time by Bergmeyer. The Texas coaches say they have all the respect in the world for that guy.
Third down and a yard to go, and it's at the 45-yard line. They got Lamb Jones far to the right side. It's pitched, and it's loose. It was for Campbell, and the scramble is on, recovered at the 31-yard line. Ross Browner on the football. Ross Browner.
And he causes the bad pitch. Watch the quickness of Ross Browner on the outside. Now he got the outside position, caused the bad pitch by McEachern, and he goes in and gets the football. All-American Ross Browner doing his thing.
Is that guy quick? Look how fast he forced that pitch.
First down and 10 for Notre Dame. Outside the 31-yard line, Joe Montana brings him up. Wide receivers left and right. Only Heavens is a running back. That's Weimer across in motion. That's Vegas Ferguson, the tailback. Vegas Ferguson to the 30, picks up a yard. It'll be second down and 9 yards to go. The Texas defense stacked him up at the 30. There's the Texas offensive line, the Notre Dame offensive line. Foley, Horansky, Huffman, Hughes, and McDaniel. Montana, Ferguson, and Heavens in the backfield. Receivers, Haynes, McAfee, and Weimer. At the 30-yard line. Second down and 9 yards to go. Evans and Ferguson. Montana has the ball, and he's going long. It's open. Incomplete down the left sideline.
Oh, he was there. They were trying to cover him one-on-one with Derek Hatchett. Derek's got 9.4 speed himself, but had a step.
Doman, the intended receiver.
That's what I was going to say, Lindsey. Tom Doman. There's your defensive line for Texas, and it's a good one. Very, very quick. Bones, Shearer, McMichael, and Campbell. Tim Campbell's the brother of Earl Campbell.
Copeland, Martinoni, and Sunline are the linebackers. Hatchett, Blackwood, Johnson, Churchman are the deep men. Montana dropping back. Incomplete. He was trying to hit Haynes on a crossing pattern. It was in and out of the hands of Johnny Johnson. That will bring on the punting unit now for Notre Dame.
Well, on offense, Notre Dame is going to be much bigger. That is where they stack up a lot larger than Texas, but Texas defense is much quicker.
Montana is limping off. On the far side, you see Montana leaving, and he is limping off. The quarterback, Dave Reeve, the field goal man, is in it. It is not the punting unit. It is Dave Reeve. His longest was 51 yards during the season. This will be a 47-yard attempt, and now we're going to get a timeout. We're getting a timeout, Notre Dame. So the Irish are spending a timeout here in the first quarter.
I think they want to talk it over, Lindsey, whether they want to go for the field goal. Dave Reeve is out there. You said as long as it's been 51 yards, he's got the wind at his back.
And Montana is getting attention. There is no score. We're in the first quarter with 11 minutes, 41 seconds left to play.
Hi, I'm Hall of Famer Tony Dorsett, and you're watching Classic Sports Network.
With the Vortec engine in a Chevy S10, you can go around the world 4 times before you have to stop for a tune-up. Have a nice trip. Chevy S10, like a rock.
When sports cream, when legs are sore, when backs ache, when muscles hurt. Wise Sports Cream, rubbing it in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell. Wise Sports Cream, because it works.
It's challenging. That's what I love about it. I trust my instincts.
It's different running your own business.
My work is everything. It's pure adrenaline.
Every decision comes down to you. It takes confidence, gives me a sense of pride.
It calls on resources you never knew you had. Like the Gold Corporate Card from American Express.
Call now and apply right over the phone.
Because control is in the details. You get quarterly reports by category.
Simplifies bookkeeping.
Small business savings, like 3% off mobile gas, 10% off UPS overnight delivery, up to 15% off Hertz, and up to 25% off Hilton Hotels.
It adds up.
And we put your company's name on the card, because you are the company.
I like what it says about
People recognize it.
It's the best card to have. Every day, more than 1 million small business owners rely on the corporate card. See how it can help you.
It's hard to do business without it.
Call 1-800-SUCCESS now.
We'll take your application right over the phone.
The Gold Corporate Card. Let American Express give your business the power to do more.
Drop in as Broadway Joe and Dick Schaap rap with the stars.
You make a pass and it's all over.
The Joe Namath Show premieres Wednesday night at 8 Eastern and Pacific. Tune in and turn on, only on Classic Sports.
Last November, the University of Notre Dame announced that Bob Davie would be its new head football coach. Recently, Classic Sports Network caught up with Davie and asked him if he felt the magnitude of his new job.
Well, one thing, you don't look too far ahead, and you don't look in the past. Because if you look in the past at all the great records, all those traditions and the former great football coaches and their records, it can be a little bit overwhelming. So even though it's a cliche, I've chosen to take one day at a time. And, you know, people ask me about the pressure. I honestly don't feel the pressure. I think a better word for it is that you feel an obligation just to maintain the standard and the tradition that all these great players and all these great coaches before you helped set.
Bob Davie's head coaching experience consists of exactly one game, but he is not shrinking away from the challenge that is head coach of Notre Dame football.
When you play college football at Notre Dame, you're playing in the ultimate college atmosphere. The pageantry that surrounds Notre Dame football is second to none. I really think we should have the ultimate college football team. And I'm not talking about wins and losses, but I'm talking about style of play. So I really want to put a team on the field that plays with great emotion, a team that plays to win, not to keep from losing, and a team that has great chemistry and a great feeling for each other.
With more than 20,000 seats being added to the stadium, Bob Davie won't be the only new item concerning Notre Dame football this fall.
Well, I think the energy level right now is at an all-time high. At least it's higher than it's been in my 3 years here. And I think anytime, you know, you have a new stadium, 20,000 new seats, we have a new locker room, we have new meeting rooms, new football coaches' offices, we have new football coaches. You know, anytime there's change, I think a breath of oxygen comes into the program. So we're going to try to ride that wave and see how far it'll take us.
Kickoff of the Bob Davie era at Notre Dame is September 6th against Georgia Tech. Reporting from Notre Dame, Eamon McEnany, Classic Sports Network.
What are people saying about Classic Sports Network? 3 words. It's about time.
4, 3, 2, Michael fires.
It's about the time Hank broke the Babe's record.
It's gone. It's 7:15.
Or the time Mary Lou was perfect. Classic Sports Network, the only network that brings you the greatest sports stories and personalities of all time, all the time.
We now return to the 1978 Cotton Bowl on Phi Beta football.
It was Montana's right knee. He's talking to Joe Eunice, who is from Dallas, Montana. And now it's going to be a 47-yard field goal attempt for Dave Reed with Vestic holding, and this one is up, and it is good. 47-yard field goal for Dave Reed. Notre Dame has taken a 3-0 lead with 11 minutes, 35 seconds left to play in the first quarter.
Well, it looked like it was going to be just a little bit short, but it just creeps over the crossbar.
He had a 12-mile-per-hour wind at his back.
He didn't give back a lot of change on that one, did he?
Not a great deal, just got it over the crossbar, and Dave Reed goes to the sideline. Now comes back to tee the ball up at the 40-yard line. Notre Dame again will kick off to Texas. That is the Notre Dame band. We have all the hoopla, all the glamour, all the excitement of college football here at the Cotton Bowl on a beautiful afternoon.
This game has been sold out since what? October.
Since late October, the Cotton Bowl has been a sellout. Jackson has dropped back with Lamb Jones to receive it once again for Texas. Dave Reeve will put it up. And it's end over end. Lamb Jones, 2 yards deep in the end zone, will not run it out. It's a touchback, 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Well, of course, Super Bowl 12 will be coming up on Sunday, January 15th, and it's on CBS.
What a matchup, Lindsey. The Denver Broncos, the Cinderella team of professional football. What a job Red Miller's done against the very great football team, the Dallas Cowboys. Can Craig Martin come back and haunt his old teammates?
And, of course, the game will be on at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, preceded by an hour-and-a-half version of the NFL Today, all on CBS on January 15th. Now, Texas has the ball. Earl Campbell has carried 3 tasks for 14 yards, 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. McEachern is the quarterback. And it is Jones, Ham Jones carrying. Ham Jones to the 50. Ham Jones goes out of bounds at the 40-yard line. 1st and 10. Ed Bergmeyer ran him out. The
quickness of Texas, Paulie.
Super run by Johnny Ham Jones. He's less publicized, the Texas 2 running back, but this guy is good. He's a junior. He's been hurt his first 2 years. But watch how quick he gets in that hole and out again. He's averaged 5.3 yards a carry this year, and there you see why. He has got great speed once he breaks into the secondary, and there he gets a little help from his brother Alfred Jackson downfield blocking for him.
Also got some help right at that safety point from Lamb Jones, who sprung him 40 yards.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line. Texas in Notre Dame territory. McEachin, the quarterback, there running it out of an I formation. That's Campbell, the All-American Heisman Trophy winner. Picked up 2 to the 38 before Jeff Weston made the tackle. Perhaps you wonder why they call one of the Johnny Jones Ham Jones and one Lamb Jones. It is, of course, to distinguish them, but they got that out of the names of their hometowns. Johnny Ham is from Hamlin, and Johnny Lamb is from Lampasas. So it's Johnny Lamb Jones and Johnny Ham Jones, and how do you like that? Second down and 8 yards to go.
Those guys are quite a pair off the field. They run around together, and they get a lot of mileage out of that Ham brothers, or rather, Jones brothers stuff.
McEachin brings him up now. He's the man who came in after 2 quarterbacks were injured in the Oklahoma game. Earl Campbell to the 32-yard line. Ross Browner came to make the tackle. It'll be 3rd and 2 at the 32.
The best running back in Texas history. Darrell Royal told me when this kid was a freshman that he was the best he had at that time. He loves contact big. How big is he? They say he's 220. He's bigger than
He's closer to 230 right now. He lost some weight at the beginning of the season. As many of you know, he missed almost half of last season because of some recurring leg problems. Team physicians determined that it might be that he was overweight. They dropped a little weight this year, but he's still about 230.
He picked up a few on the back this turn. Look now, the guy playing there this time to Johnny Ham Jones, trying to pick up the first down. Now, it looks as though he did from here. They'll get him unstacked. Ken Dyke made the stop, and then they'll take a long look and give us the word. It's a 1st and 10 for Texas. That's the 29-yard line.
I'm kind of surprised, Paul. We haven't seen Texas run the counter option yet, and that's just a big part of their offense.
It's always a big part, and I think it'll probably be even a bigger part today. They think that because Notre Dame plays such a reaction-type defense, they can get them going one direction and then bring the counter back to the other side.
Out of the I formation, 1st and 10 at the 29. That's Earl Campbell. Moves it to the 27 for 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8 yards to go. Bob Golick in to make the tackle. He's an All-American middle guard. 6'3", 244-pounder from Willowick, Ohio.
Well, they're always ranked 3rd in the nation this year against the rush on defense. They only let the offense average about 90 yards a game rushing. So they've been very good against the rush, but they're going to have their hands full today.
You're not about to push that Notre Dame defensive line around, though. They're just too big and talented.
2nd down and 8 as they run out of the split back veer here. Jones again. Ham Jones to the 20-yard line. Becker along with Joe Restick in to make the stop. It'll be 3rd and 1.
End zone shot here, and I think Notre Dame's defense is really keying number 20. That might open it up inside for this play right here. Johnny Ham Jones. You see Browner out of the picture. He went with number 20, and that created the hole inside.
Well, Ham's already got as many carries in the first quarter as he normally gets in an entire game.
51 yards and 3 carries for Ham Jones.
3rd and 1, and this is Earl Campbell for a 1st and 10. 1st and 10 for Texas. Just outside the Notre Dame 16-yard line. And Steve Hansider made the tackle for Notre Dame.
Texas offensive line beginning to assert itself a little bit now. They're not the biggest guys in the world up front, but there's some kind of quick, and there is some experience there.
Texas Longhorns are driving. Notre Dame's leading by 3 points. We have 8 minutes, 22 seconds left in the first quarter. Earl Campbell rushed for 1,744 yards. He led the nation in rushing. He led the nation in scoring. He led the Longhorns through an undefeated season. He won the Heisman Trophy. Number 20, Earl Campbell.
All world.
Got it again. Got just to the 13-yard line. Picked up about 3 on the play, which would make it 2nd and 7. Doug Becker, along with Willie Fry, made the stop. Texas Longhorns are in the Cotton Bowl for the 16th time. Under Darrell Royal, who coached them for 20 years, they won 3 national championships, won the Southwest Conference title 11 times. Darrell Royal retired at the end of last season. Is here today as the Director of Athletics for the University of Texas. They are sending Jackson, far to the right side, number 2. They are sending Jones, far to the left side. That's Lamb Jones. McEachin tries to run it, and he has dropped the 14-yard line. It was Willie Fry who got to him.
And, Paul, look at what they were trying to do, just what we were talking about. Just hang it up to the corner and let Lamb Jones run to it, but Notre Dame wouldn't buy it.
And McEachin, I think, made a good move back there. They had Lamb Jones double covered. Everybody was covered. He tried to pick it up on the ground.
3rd down and 8 yards to go. They lost 2 yardage back to the 14-yard line. This time they are sending Mike Lockett far to the right side. He and Johnny Lamb Jones have been alternating. Harris is the tight end. And he is being sacked back at the 25-yard line by Jim Browner, the strong safety. Jim Browner got to him, number 33.
He's the brother of Ross Browner. Notre Dame's defense would not go for the fake here. Passing situation. Here comes the safety blitz. That's Browner, the strong safety, coming up on the outside to sack McEachin. But keep in mind, Lippy, they got what? Russell Ertzlaven coming in.
Ertzlaven is in. It's going to be a 42-yard field goal attempt. He tied the NCAA record against Rice with a 67-yarder. He considers this a chip shot. It's Churchman in at a hole. Ricky Churchman. Ertzlaven puts it up. And it's good. Ertzlaven with the field goal. And the score is tied. They have traded field goals. Notre Dame 3 and Texas 3. 6 minutes, 7 seconds left in the first quarter.
We'll be right back with more of the 1978 Cotton Bowl on Phi Beta Football.
What would make your life easier? Is it the little things? Do you need more solutions and fewer questions? Not everyone can have their own personal assistant, but at least someone can get the door for you once in a while. The 1997 Silhouette minivan by Oldsmobile. Personal freedom, personal space, personal attention. Because no two silhouettes are alike.
G.I. Jane is another spellbinding journey from the director of Thelma and Louise. Provocative, brilliantly directed, and Siskel and Ebert give it 2 thumbs up. Demi Moore, G.I. Jane, rated R. Now playing.
I think a quarterback has got to have an arrogant quality about him because he's going to get shot at by so many people. And if he's paranoid, then he'll never make it.
I never believed in turning the other cheek. I feel that off the field, that, after you've played a game with someone and competed as hard as you could against them, you can be as nice as you want to with them. But on that field, he's your enemy.
When you work hard at something and you accomplish the goal, which is to win the biggest game and to play well to do it, it's a feeling that it still stays with me. I still remember that first Super Bowl, and it still brings back great feelings.
Being the leader, I guess, being the leader and in total charge of everything that's happening on that football field from an offensive standpoint was my responsibility, and it was fun.
Last year, the Pack was back. But can they go back-to-back? Classic Sports gets you ready for the upcoming season as Hall of Famer Joe Namath looks into the future by looking at the past. Find out why only Lombardi's Packers, Schuler's Dolphins, Pittsburgh Steel Curtain, Montana's Niners, and America's Cowboys have repeated as Super Bowl champs. And hear repeat offenders Bart Starr and Bob Greasy, along with NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue, predict whether Favre can lead his Packers to 2 in a row. Watch Countdown to Kickoff, premiering Tuesday at 8 Eastern and 10 Pacific, only on Classic Sports.
On Classic Sports, tennis is usually an elegant game. But this is New York. Mean green slab. Hard courts, baby.
Get set for this year's Open with host Bud Collins. It's Classic Sports U.S. Open Top 10 Countdown Marathon, Saturday at 6. We now return to the 1978 Cotton Bowl on Phi Beta Football. You're watching the 1978 Cotton Bowl between Texas and Notre Dame on Phi Beta Football. Texas has the ball back on their own 8-yard line with the game tied at 3.
It's the Texas band, and what they're saying is go, Horns, go. And the Horns have the ball at their own 8-yard line. Campbell carried 8 times for 32 yards. Ham Jones 3 times for 51 yards. McEachin is the quarterback. Gives it to Earl Campbell, his Heisman Trophy winning running back, who moves it up to the 14-yard line. Picked up 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 4 yards to go. Ken Dyke from Maryville, Indiana, made the tackle for Notre Dame.
Paul, they use a lot of straight handoffs in their attack with Campbell, don't they?
Easy to understand. Easy to understand. When you got a guy that's that big and that fast, he can just cut off the block and take it to him.
Paul Alexander is here in our booth today. He is the sports director of our CBS affiliate in Austin. He does the coaches show with Fred Akers throughout the season. Paul Horning here with us as well, and there's Earl Campbell carrying. He moves up to the 20-yard line to pick up the 1st and 10 for the Longhorns of Texas.
You'll notice that Texas will run a lot of the time back to the left side. The reason being they have two very experienced offensive linemen on that side, tackle George James and guard Rick Ingram, both of whom are seniors.
In Cotton Bowl history, the host team has won 20 games. The visiting team has won 17 games. There have been 4 ties. Texas sends Jackson to the left side. Jones to the right side. That's Johnny Lamb. That's the handoff quick to Johnny Ham. He got to the 22 for 2. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They got burned a couple times with that little handoff to Ham Jones, and the Notre Dame defense on the left side played that a little tighter.
Notre Dame with a record of 10-1. They lost to Ole Miss early in the season. Notre Dame cheerleaders. When Paul Horning was in school, they didn't have female cheerleaders. If they did, they were from St. Mary's across the road.
I'd have still been there.
They would have been in trouble. 2nd down and 8 yards to go. Rockets in motion across for Texas. Big pitch for Earl Campbell. Moved up just across the 22-yard line, but Steve Heimkreider was there to meet him from his linebacker spot.
Oh, Heimkreider came a long way.
Well, he did, and it was no gain, so it'll be 3rd and 8.
You know, Texas uses Campbell just like the Chicago Bears use Walter Payton. Even though maybe Payton would not break a play, they just keep giving the ball to him because they know the law of averages, he's going to break one. And that's exactly what Texas will do with Earl Campbell. They'll keep giving the football. He'll run it 25, 30 times average.
Earl Campbell, one of 11 children reared by a widowed mother. And there's the pass out of the flat on the screen. It's taken by Ham Jones, and Ham Jones fumbled the football, and Notre Dame recovered it at the 27-yard line.
He got popped.
Jim Browner got it.
Jim Browner, another big play, was right there and fell on the loose football. Let's pick it up. Good execution, actually, by Texas on the screen. You see Campbell take everybody deep, and there comes Ham Jones. Now watch the hit here. He gets hit and sandwiched right there. Becker was right there, and Browner's got it back.
Another thing you have to be impressed with for Notre Dame, look at all those white shirts around there. Really read the screen that time.
1st and 10 outside the 27-yard line. Joe Montana quarterbacking. Evans is the fullback. Vegas Ferguson the tailback. Montana's got it. And it goes to McAfee. McAfee was his favorite target during the year when he caught 54. He took that one to the 17.
There's Ken McAfee. He's been double-teamed 2 or 3 times. This is the first pass in his area. He slips down, but good balance. Gets up, and he's wide open. Coming across the field, he gets knocked down by a block by Ricky Churchman.
He has great hands, the hands of an artist, because he's an artist. 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. That's Evans. Jerome Evans bounced off and was stopped at the 16 after a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd and 9. It was Johnny Johnson up to make the stop. We are nearing the end of the first quarter. We have 30 seconds remaining in this period. Waymer and Doman, you'll see alternating. That's Waymer coming into the ballgame now for Dan Devine's Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Chris Haynes goes to a wide left. Doman set in the slot. And now we are getting a timeout Notre Dame with 16 seconds remaining. That is the second timeout that has been taken by Notre Dame. That one coming 16 seconds before the end of the first quarter. Montana wants to go over to talk to the staff. We're in a 3-3 tie. This is Lindsey Nelson with Paul Horning, Paul Alexander, Don Crickey, Jack Whitaker at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. We're in a 3-3 tie. 2nd down, 9 yards to go for the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame at the Texas 16-yard line. Montana is 2 for 7, 31 yards in the air. Ferguson and Evans to the setback for the Fighting Irish. Waymer's in motion across. This is Evans to the outside. Evans with speed is at the 10. Drives up to the 6-yard line. Got in advance of the sticks. It'll be a 1st and goal at the 6-yard line. Churchman made the stop.
Good blocking on the outside. Man in motion left. Watch Ferguson sealing off to the inside, and Evans does the rest. He gets outside. They needed about 8 for the 1st down. He got it easy. Stopped by Churchman.
Texas middle linebacker Mark Martinoli really cut off that time, and that's something that had been a source of concern to the Longhorns. He's not very experienced in the middle. He's normally an outside linebacker, as we said earlier.
Now time has run out in the period. Time has run out in the period. And so that is the end of the first quarter here at the 1978 Cotton Bowl game in Dallas. And the score is tied, Notre Dame 3 and Texas 3.
We'll be right back with more of the 1978 Cotton Bowl on Phi Beta Football.
Introducing the rugged new Montana from Pontiac. With more towing power than ever before, it can really get along. Life is more exciting in Montana.
That ball's around here somewhere.
It's in a jar, in the car, in a drawer, on the floor. It's all over the place. So where's your loose change? Well, it's time to cash in those coins with the Money Wrapper, the automated coin machine that sorts, stacks, counts, and wraps your loose change in one easy step. Just place the coin wrappers in the Money Wrapper and drop in a handful of loose change. The Money Wrapper switches on automatically, spinning and separating the coins, then sending them down the chute to be sorted. Pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters all drop into their own removable tubes at a rate of hundreds of coins per minute, automatically stacked, counted, and all wrapped up. When you're done, your Money Wrapper shuts off by itself. And when you're ready to cash in, simply pull the lever and start piling up those neat rolls of counted wrapped coins. So don't throw your loose change away. Get it growing today. The Money Wrapper. It makes perfect sense.
Call 1-800-370-6996. Order your Money Wrapper for $24.95 plus $5.95 shipping. Or send check or money order to the address on your screen.
Classic Sports Network presents This Day in Classic Sports, August 22nd, 1961. Maris mashes number 50 after this.
What if you could collect life's greatest moments? If you could just hang on to them and not let any slip away? And what if every time you remembered them, they were just as vivid, just as good? On Classic Sports Network, memories don't pass you by, nor are they carted off and filed away. They're front and center, and even sideways. Classic Sports Network, the only network where once-in-a-lifetime moments happen 24 hours a day.
August 22nd, 1961. Roger Maris is still chasing Babe Ruth's home run record. Today, he goes deep for the 50th time. It's the earliest in any season that a player has hit 50 long balls. Maris needs 11 more by October 1st. Tune in every day for This Day in Classic Sports.
You're watching the 1978 Cotton Bowl on Phi Beta Football.
The Notre Dame band is moving it up here now as we start the second quarter. It's first down and goal to go at the 6-yard line. Double tight end. Fry is in there. Urick's in the ball game. And Terry Urick. Touchdown, Urick. Urick took it in from the 6-yard line. He is a co-captain at Notre Dame, and it's the first touchdown of the afternoon.
Great blocking off the left side. They pull the guard. It's a cross block on the outside. They caught Dwight Jefferson on the outside, and Urick goes in just barely brushed.
Texas free safety Johnny Johnson was just wiped out on the play. He had no chance.
Well, now Dave Reeve is in to attempt the conversion. Dave Reeve from Bloomington, Indiana. During the year, he was 39 for 44. And the extra point department, Resnick puts it down, it's booted up, and it's good. And so, as they come back up the field, the score is Notre Dame 10, Texas 3. We are early in the second quarter, 14 minutes, 56 seconds left.
Notre Dame leads Texas 10-3. I guess we could say it's really the Browners 10, Texas 3, as both Irish scoring opportunities have been set up by fumble recoveries made by the Browners. Ross Browner was one of the most heralded defensive players in Notre Dame history. He not only won the Outland Trophy and the Lombardi Award, but in 1977 he finished 5th in the Heisman Trophy balloting. Ross's brother Jim was a 3-year starter for the Irish, making 5 interceptions and 8 fumble recoveries in his career. Ross and Jim earned the nickname Thunder and Lightning for their exploits at Notre Dame before going on to the NFL. In 1976, Ross and Jim were joined on the Irish squad by their brother Willard. It was the first time in school history that there had ever been 3 brothers on the same Notre Dame football team. Before the Navy game that year, the Browners' mother, Julia, was invited by Coach Dan Devine to be the first woman to ever eat at the Notre Dame training table. Ross and Jim had 2 younger brothers, Joey and Keith, who didn't follow their footsteps to South Bend, but enrolled at, of all places, Southern California. At USC, Joey played in the same defensive backfield with future NFL head coach Jeff Fisher, future Broncos star Dennis Smith, and future Hall of Famer Ronnie Lott. Joey Browner went on to have a 10-year NFL career with the Vikings and Buccaneers, appearing in 6 Pro Bowls. In all, Red and Julia Browner of Warren, Ohio had 6 sons, 4 of whom played in the NFL for a combined 30 seasons. I'd say that qualifies as an athletic family. When we return to the 1978 Cotton Bowl, Ross and Jim Browner will be back on the field as Texas has the ball on their own 37, trailing Notre Dame 10-3.
I love watching classic sports.
Yeah, the fights are awesome. That's what we're talking about. Oh, Ali and Frazier.
The home run derby is my favorite.
The tennis and
the old-time football games. I'll tell you right now, I'm hooked on it. Just turn on the classics. It's awesome.
Everybody's talking about it. It's just something you cannot miss at all.
I'm hooked on Classic Sports Network. Watch it every night.
I love classic sports.
What would make your life easier? Is it the little things? Do you need more solutions and fewer questions? Not everyone can have their own personal assistant, but at least someone can get the door for you once in a while. The 1997 Silhouette minivan by Oldsmobile. Personal freedom, personal space, personal attention. Because no 2 silhouettes are alike.
There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. All classic sports programming is now controlled by Wilt Chamberlain.
Your favorite 7-footer.
For 3 hours, August 25th, fall under Wilt's spell as he takes control of all you see and hear. You'll be subject to a great night of classic programming.
My night of programming.
Enter the world of Wilt. Premiering Monday at 8 Eastern and 9 Pacific. Only on Classic Sports Network.
With his fiery temperament and trademark 2-fisted backhand, Jimmy Connors soared to the top of the tennis world. In 1974, only 2 years after turning pro, Connors won Wimbledon, the U.S. and Australian Opens, en route to 8 major titles for his career. Jimmy Connors, Classic Sports Athlete of the Week.
We now return to the 1978 Cotton Bowl on 5 Beta Football.
Alfred Jackson left the field under his own power. It's 1st and 10 for Texas. The Longhorns have the ball at their own 37. McEachin brings them up now. Lockett's in there at the flanker. Out of the I formation. Ham Jones ahead of Earl Campbell. Earl Campbell powers up near the 40-yard line. Sends Ike in to make the tackle. Picks up about 3 on the play to make it 2nd down and 7. 2 of the greatest Cotton Bowl games ever played were played between these 2 teams in 1970. Texas, making a bid for the national championship, came in to play Notre Dame. Texas won it in the closing moments and won the national championship. The next year, they brought a 30-game winning streak into this Cotton Bowl, 1971. That day, Notre Dame won. So they are 1-1 in the Cotton Bowl. This is the rubber game here this afternoon. 2nd down and 7 yards to go. McEachin has the ball. He fumbles the ball, and Notre Dame recovers another turnover, and it is Willie Fry on the ball. It is at the 35-yard line.
Fry got the football, but watch 89, Ross Browner. He makes McEachin step up into the pocket. He beats the block, a complete mismatch with Ham Jones. Then McEachin loses the football, and Willie Fry was right there. I think that was 79, Ken Dyke, who really caused the fumble. That's him, 79.
So it is 1st and 10 Notre Dame. Montana's under on the attack at the Texas 35-yard line. And the wing T now with the wing right. Taken by Vegas Ferguson. Finds the hole and moves to the 30-yard line. At the start of the season, Notre Dame ran exclusively out of a wing T. Later, for the Army game, they went into an I formation, used the I for most of the year. That was off the wing T.
very frequently you'll see an orange blur coming out of the Texas secondary. What that is the Ricky Churchman, who's just about as crazy a defensive back as you'd ever want to see, patterns himself after another guy here in Dallas, Cliff Harris.
Second down and 5 yards to go. Montana. And it is complete. Taken by his big All-American tight end McAfee. Outside the 21, Ricky Churchman upset him.
And you'll see why Ken McAfee is going to be a #1 draft choice in the pros. A great pair of hands. Play action to the right. They got McAfee isolated over here with number 8, Ricky Churchman. He just goes up and makes a great catch.
We have a correction on the stats we gave you a moment ago. In the first quarter, Texas, total yardage 186, Notre Dame 127. First and 10 at the 22-yard line. Doman in motion across. Vegas Ferguson got about a half yard, and that's all. Brad Sheeran, the Outland Trophy winner as America's outstanding lineman, made the tackle the year before, 76. It was Browner, Ross Browner, who won the Outland Trophy. So we have this year's winner and last year's winner on the field this afternoon.
Is he the best that ever played in Texas?
That's what they say, but think about the company that we're talking about. Scott Albertson, Tommy Novis, John Elliott.
Again, it's Vegas Ferguson. Trying to get to the outside. He's at the 15. Breaks away, gets to the 10, and goes out of bounds. So it'll be first down and 10 yards to go at the 10. Johnny Johnston finally pulled him out along with Morgan Copeland.
I'd say Notre Dame's just winning the battle of the pits up there, running the football. It's a good hole on the right side. Brown level shot at Vegas Ferguson. He was finally stopped by Johnny Johnson, the free safety.
It is spotted so that it is first down and goal to go at the 10-yard line. Notre Dame is leading by a score of 10-3. We have 11 minutes, 42 seconds left in the first half. Chris Haynes is split right. They're running a slot right. That's the wing back in the slot. In motion across. That's Weimer. Jerome Heaven. Or rather, Urich. It is Urich. Urich took it in. Urich had come in there at fullback, and he scores his second touchdown of the day. Terry Urich, senior running back and co-captain.
The Notre Dame fans are going crazy, and there are a lot of them here. Watch the blocking on the left side. The same exact play, Lindsey. This time Urich goes outside. He scores his second touchdown of the day. He scored on the same play from 4 or 5 yards out for his first touchdown.
Conversion attempt coming now. Dave Reeve is in to attempt it. They move 35 yards in 5 plays after recovering the Texas fumble. Joe Resnick will hold. Resnick puts it down. Reeve puts it up. And it's good. And so the score is Notre Dame 17 and Texas 3. We have 11 minutes, 37 seconds remaining to be played in the first half.
You're watching the 1978 Cotton Bowl on 5 Beta Football.
Some days, it seems like nothing goes right.
Kelly is down.
And everyone's out to get you.
Now Favre running to the right. Favre is on the run.
They're a monster hit. A narrow escape. But other times, there's always the glory.
The NFL Quarterback Club Collection, exclusively from Sports Illustrated, featuring the ultimate game ball. This one-time only, authentic, collectible NFL Quarterback Club football. And the special new video from SI and the NFL Quarterback Club, QBs Under Fire. Both free with your paid subscription to SI. Your NFL Quarterback Club collection starts with this collector's dream, an officially licensed, individually numbered NFL Quarterback Club football. It features the official replica autographs of 5 superstar quarterbacks: Troy Aikman, Dan Marino, John Elway, Jim Kelly, and Brett Favre.
You gotta love that.
Call now, and you'll also get the exclusive new video, Quarterbacks Under Fire. Go inside the huddle. Feel the intensity of the most pressure-packed position in sports. Find out how the game feels from the quarterback's point of view. Who they go to.
Touchdown 49ers, Jerry Rice.
And who they fear.
I think he takes great pleasure in hitting people. I'm afraid of him.
Call now. Get 54 issues of Sports Illustrated for only $1.48 an issue. Save over 55% off the cover price. Plus, get your exclusive NFL Quarterback Club collection absolutely free. For quicker delivery, use your credit card. Don't pass up your chance to get the NFL Quarterback Club collection for yourself or a friend. the ultimate game ball, the exclusive, collectible NFL Quarterback Club football, and the great new video, QB's Under Fire. There are only 2 ways to get the NFL Quarterback Club collection.
You can take over an NFL team or subscribe to Sports Illustrated, and that's all.
Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
Tonight at 9, swing into action with a triple feature thriller when Floyd Patterson and Ingemar Johansson square off for 3 classic hard-hitting championship bouts on Friday night at the Fights. And at 11, Heisman winner Earl Campbell and his #1 ranked Texas Longhorns clash for the national championship against Joe Montana's Fighting Irish of Notre Dame in the thrilling '78 Cotton Bowl. Tonight on Classic Sports Network. We now return to the 1978 Cotton Bowl on 5-Beta Football.
Johnny Lamb Jones back to receive the kickoff. He's known as the world's fastest football player because he was on the United States Olympic gold medal relay team, and the other 3 don't play football. It is Dave Reeves to kick it off for Notre Dame. Ball is in the air. Jackson got it up the 8-yard line. He's at the 15-20, and now pulled out. He's trying to circle back at the 19. Johnson downfield. First and 10 for the Texas Longhorns. Andy McEachern is the quarterback. Campbell's got the football. Earl Campbell out to the 22-yard line. He picked up 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7 at the 22. Ken Dyke made the tackle for Notre Dame.
Lindsey and Paul, we ought to point out at this stage that this is certainly not the first time this season Texas has been behind. They were behind against A&M, against Houston, even against SMU back here in the Cotton Bowl last October, so they're not about to panic. Admittedly, they have not been 14 down before, but you won't see them deviate from their game plan too much.
2nd down and 7 yards to go at the 22. Trying to get it handed off apparently to Campbell. Jim Browner was in there to make the stop, and Becker also on the tackle as McEachern kept the football. And there is no gain on the play. 3rd and 7 at the 22-yard line. This is the 3rd time this year that Texas has played in this stadium. The Texas OU game has always played here. They defeated Oklahoma here. First time they beat Oklahoma in 6 years. They played SMU here. This is their 3rd time in.
Almost like a home game.
I think they're going to have to go outside a little bit more, Lindsey. They're going to have to start using that counter option and try to get Campbell to the outside.
Kitchen, and he is sacked. Kitchen dropped back there near the 15. Ross Browner and Willie Fry, the bookends met.
Well, Ross Browner had 18 sacks on the year. Just a complete domination up front right here by the Irish defense. McEachern doesn't have a shot here. Here comes Browner, and there's Fry.
That'll bring on the punting unit, and that's Russell Erxleben, who averaged 45.9, and his longest was 71 yards against Oklahoma.
Lindsey, he'd have won the national championship, but he didn't punt enough times to qualify for it.
Standing near his goal line, Schmitz and Bergmeyer are deep. Hits across the 50, rolls out of bounds on Bergmeyer's side. No return at the 40-yard line, 1st and 10. So now, Notre Dame gets the ball in good field position. They get it 1st and 10 at their own 40. It is Notre Dame 17, Texas 3, a 45-yard punt.
I'm Randy White, and you're watching Classic Sports Network.
When sports cream, when legs are sore, when backs ache, when muscles hurt. Why Sports Cream? Rubbing it in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell. Why Sports Cream? Because it works.
Critics are calling G.I. Jane the most powerful motion picture of the summer.
Cut her loose!
And Siskel and Ebert give it 2 thumbs up. Demi Moore, G.I. Jane, rated R. Now playing at a theater near you.
It's Broadway Joe at the top of his game.
You make a pass and it's all over. The baby pass now and it's
The Joe Namath Show premieres Wednesday night at 8 Eastern and Pacific. Tune in and turn on, only on Classic Sports.
Another look with Sean Pamphilon.
Outside of football, they wanted me to be a different guy. They wanted me to run from the 1-yard line and knock 10 people over, then get outside of football and be very docile and accept inequality.
Remember his name?
you should. This cat was badder than bad, better than good. When Jim Brown came to town, defenses broke down, marked by a rebellious air, etched on his face a defiant glare. Step in his path if you dare, but beware, for he'd run over you without remorse, without care. Pure power and speed, punishing opponents, fed his greed, met his need. A lethal weapon in football gear, his opponent's eyes emitted fear. Year after year after year.
Sports Network, the greatest new network in the history of sports.
You're watching the 1978 Cotton Bowl on 5-Beta Football.
We have a report from the Notre Dame sideline that Joe Restig, who is the free safety, the punter, and the holder for placements, has a knee injury and may not be back this afternoon. Notre Dame has the ball now, 1st and 10. They have it at their own 40-yard line, and Joe Montana brings them up in an I formation. Makes the handoff. Montana has it. Home run. All of it. Weimer. And it is intercepted by Texas. Taken by Hatchett. Derek Hatchett intercepted on the corner. Texas gets the ball 1st and 10.
I tell you, this is a great turnover for Texas. In fact, this is Notre Dame's first turnover, and they went for the bomb. He had a step on the man, and Hatchett just makes a great interception.
Hatchett is so quick that he can give up a step and still recover. He's probably Texas's best defender in terms of man-to-man coverage. They will always put him on the other team's best wide receiver.
The receiver, Dave Weimer, was shaken up for Notre Dame but left under his own power. You're looking at the Texas sideline now as the Longhorns have the football.
Well, that turnover really didn't hurt Notre Dame as much as the turnover hurt Texas. Texas has had 3 turnovers, and Notre Dame has converted them all into points.
Randy Harrison's playing Restig's free safety now for Notre Dame. Clavin handing it off to Jones. Ham Jones moved it up to the 25-yard line. Again, at 2 yards on the play will make it 2nd down and 8 yards to go for the Longhorns of the University of Texas.
You know, Lindsey, so far we haven't said anything about Texas quarterback Randy McEachern, but he's quite a story. As you probably know, he was actually the Longhorns' 3rd-team quarterback going into the season, but after both Mark McBath and later John Awney both went down with leg injuries in the Oklahoma game right here in the Cotton Bowl, McEachern was pressed into service, and what a job he's done.
I know what he was last year. He was a spotter for the radio announcer. It's 2nd down and 8 yards to go. Campbell is carrying to the 29-yard line. Bob Golick in to make the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and 4 yards to go. We have 8 minutes, 37 seconds left to play in the first half.
I was going to say, so far, the yards that Earl Campbell is coming by are very, very tough yards. They are really swarming. Notre Dame defense has been outstanding so far in this first half.
3rd and 4. McEachern on his step. McEachern drops back. Intercepted. Becker has it at the 30. Doug Becker is out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
Boy, Lindsey, the game plan for Notre Dame is working beautifully. They were hoping to get Texas in a throwing situation and just hope that McEachern would try to throw it up for grabs. And Doug Becker makes the 4th turnover for Notre Dame here in the first half.
James made the tackle.
Here it is. McEachern steps up. He's trying to throw a little pattern to his tight end, Gil Harris. Badly thrown ball, and Becker right in his arms.
Another turnover. Notre Dame 1st and 10 at the Texas 20-yard line. Motion across from the wingback. That's Weimer. From Evans, and he is at the 17-yard line. Martinoni, the middle linebacker, made the tackle. Gained 3 yards on the play at 2nd down and 7.
Getting back to the interception a few seconds ago, you'll notice that so far most of McEachern's passes have been of the drop-back variety. That's not normally his game. He's really a much better rollout passer.
They've got Chris Aints far to the left side. They've got Doman as a wing-back right. Running backs are evened up. Montana. Well, it was McAfee for whom it was intended. Just getting rid of it. It's 3rd and 7 at the 17-yard line. Joe Montana, who came off the bench in the Purdue game to bring Notre Dame from behind, and he's been quarterbacking them ever since. 2 years ago, he came off the bench against North Carolina, came off the bench against the Air Force to lead Notre Dame to victories. He missed last year with a shoulder separation. Joe Montana. Montana says he was most discouraged when he got to Notre Dame and found that he was listed as the number 12 quarterback.
Oh, come on. That's just a story.
Tossing back now. Montana's throwing. And it's in the end zone. Touchdown. Vegas Ferguson. Touchdown Notre Dame.
Well, everything's going right for the Irish. Joe Montana. He's got the quick release. He's going to be a fine pro quarterback. He's a good drop back. Watch how he stands right there under a cool rush. Now watch the ball just come back right to Ferguson. A great catch. Martinoni, the middle linebacker, covering the halfback deep.
No contest there. That's the old situation of, you hear it so many times, but the quick back isolated on the middle linebacker. Martinoni just couldn't make the play.
Conversion attempt coming now. It's going to be Bergmeyer holding instead of Restic, who is out with the injury, and Reed boots it up, and it's good. So now, here in the second quarter, with 7 minutes, 28 seconds left, it is Notre Dame 24 and Texas 3.
Let's play a quick game of Jeopardy. Irish football for 100, Alex. The answers are Tom Clements, Rick Slager, Rusty Lish, and Gary Forstak. The question is, who played ahead of Joe Montana at quarterback while he was at Notre Dame? You just heard Lindsey Nelson joke with Paul Horning that Joe Montana was 12th on the depth chart at quarterback when he arrived at Notre Dame. Well, the situation wasn't exactly that bad for Montana, but one of the biggest mysteries in the history of Notre Dame football is why Montana didn't play more. Here's a guy many consider to be the greatest quarterback in the history of pro football, and yet going into his junior season in college was the third-string quarterback. And it's not like Montana didn't give Dan Devine any reason to play him. 6 times in his Notre Dame career, Montana came off the bench with the Irish losing. Notre Dame won all 6 times. When we return to the 1978 Cotton Bowl, the comeback kid and his teammates are a little more than 30 minutes away from a possible national championship. Texas will have the ball on its own 32 with only 22 seconds left in the first half, trailing 24-3.
This presentation of Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Sports Cream.
Battling age and injury, Jimmy Connors wasn't expected to do much in the 1991 U.S. Open. Yet, as he's done so often in the past, he marched through the competition. His march to the title ended in the semifinals, but the 1991 U.S. Open will always be known as Connors Open. Jimmy Connors, Classic Sports Athlete of the Week.
When sports cream, when legs are sore, when backs ache, when muscles hurt. Wise Sports Cream, rubbing it in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell. Wise Sports Cream, because it works.
Watch Classic Sports. It's the greatest of all time.
My cable company just picked it up. You'll come over.
Cool.
And this time, bring chips.
I'm calling my cable company. I gotta get Classic Sports, and you can't stop me.
Classic Sports, Classic Sports.
Yes, we just got Classic Sports. We got it.
Hey, all these guys get it.
So don't leave your friends out in the cold. Spread the word about Classic Sports Network today.
I'm Bud Collins at Classic Sports Network. We're serving up the top 10 matches in the history of the U.S. Open. Watch them while they're hot.
Classic Sports electrifies August with the U.S. Open Top 10 Countdown. It's a Grand Slam Summer Jam. Look out! Feel the heat in the city that never sleeps with host Bud Collins. Catch all the classic matches and greatest rivalries. Get set for this year's Open. It's Classic Sports U.S. Open Top 10 Countdown Marathon. Saturday at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific.
Hardcore, baby.
We now return to the 1978 Cotton Bowl on 5-8 football.
Lockett's going to a wide left. Jones is set in the slot left. Sonny Lamb Jones, that is Earl Campbell on a delay, and Earl Campbell rambled through to the 42, and I think he's got the first down. Willie Fry made the tackle.
Notre Dame in a prevent defense now. 3 down linemen. Texas quickly calls timeout. 15 seconds to go. 24-3. Very surprising here in the first half. Notre Dame's defense has kept Texas from the end zone, and Texas ranked 3rd in the country in scoring just under 40 points a game.
This is a charged Texas timeout. The Cotton Bowl record, incidentally, for runs from scrimmage is 95 yards. It was Dickie Mago for Rice against Alabama in the 1954 game, and that has stood up through the years here at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas.
Did you see that one from this booth?
I saw that one from this very booth. This booth is just like it was then.
And I think congratulations, Paul, are in order for our boss sitting to the left, Lindsey Nelson, the voice of the Cotton Bowl. 18 years. This is Lindsey's 18th Cotton Bowl.
I'll tell you what, just hanging around him this week here in Dallas has been a lot of fun.
Incidentally, here's a halftime score that'll interest you. At the end of the first half, Alabama 13, Ohio State nothing in the Sugar Bowl.
Woody's not going to like that.
Woody's not going to like that at all. Dan Devine, the head coach, and we're going to try to have a few words with Dan Devine as his team leads the field here in just a few seconds. First and 10. McEachern.
Oh, Lamb Jones.
Lamb Jones has got it. First and 10 at the 25. 8 seconds on the clock. They call timeout immediately to stop it. A big play for the Texas Longhorns, who won on that board once again.
Paul and Lindsey, this is exactly what they've been trying to do all day long. Just the streak pattern to Lamb Jones, and nobody's going to streak with him. What they're trying to do is get a one-on-one situation between Lamb and the strong safety Jim Browner, because quite frankly, they think Browner is the weak link in the Texas secondary, or rather the Notre Dame secondary.
He might have pulled a hamstring, too. He's being helped off. And they need his speed in the second half, being down by 21.
Those sprinters are very, very delicate animals, and I guess when your hamstrings are strung like his are, it doesn't take much to throw them out of whack.
Let's see if we can pick it up, Paul. He goes up.
Had to turn back for the ball, and that's probably what caused it.
Right there he pulled it after about the first couple of steps.
Yeah, definitely.
See him hold on to his left side?
No doubt about it, left hamstring.
34-yard pickup on the play. We'll identify the Pauls. We're hearing a lot of Pauls here in the booth this afternoon, so we'll identify them. There's Paul Alexander and there's Paul Harding. Paul Alexander from Austin, of course, is the host of Coach Fred Akers' show. He is the sports director of our CBS affiliate. Paul Harding is from Louisville, Kentucky, and other points.
Louisville's my home.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line. McEachern putting it up, and it's Jackson. Jackson's got it. Incomplete. He had it just for a moment. That is Bradley covering. Jackson had it just for a second. It's an incompleted pass.
I'll say one thing about Texas. Their passing offense is just go for the home run. They don't fool around with little turn-ins and turn-outs. They throw it to their speed men. Jackson had the football right in his hands, could not hold on.
Difficult catch, admittedly, but he's the kind of guy that's been making just that kind of catch all year long. And we're at the stage right now where Texas really needs it.
And he should come back into the ball game now for Texas. It is second down and 10 at the 25. 2 seconds on the clock. 2 seconds remaining to be played in the first half of the 1978 Cotton Bowl. McEachern, time has run out. Incomplete. Penalty marker. Hold it. There's a flag.
It's going to be against Jim Browner.
There is a flag.
It's going to be against the strong safety on Notre Dame's defense. The clock had run out, but the game, the halftime, will not end on a penalty.
Cannot end on a defensive foul, and so now the officials are in conference, and that is Vance Carlson. Let's hear.
That's an offense. Notre Dame, first down.
First down for Texas. First down on the pass interference. It is spotted at the 13-yard line.
Forget the field goal. They're going for it.
They're going to go for it to try to get a touchdown on the board. They're trailing 24-3. They get this play. Time has run out on the clock, but they get this play. It cannot end the period on a defensive foul. Now Notre Dame calls a timeout. Notre Dame has called a timeout.
What's happening? Doug Becker, the defensive captain who calls the play, he's on his way over to talk to George Kelly and Dan Devine over there. Kelly handles the defense from up here in the press box, and I'm sure they're going to go over a little strategy right there.
Joe Yanto to his left, and there's Fred Akers talking to his quarterback, McEachern. Fred Akers, of course, almost everybody's coach of the year in his first year at Texas. He played his college football at Arkansas. He was a great high school coach, and then came to Darrell Royal's staff. He went out to Wyoming, coached 2 years at Wyoming last year, had his team as co-champions of the Western Athletic Conference in the Fiesta Bowl, where they were rolled over by Oklahoma. But then he went to Texas. He ditched the wishbone, put in the veer, his eye, told Earl Campbell to get from 235 down to 220, and he has him in here undefeated.
Lindsey, I think that was the first penalty of this ball game. Yes, it was. The first penalty of the ball game coming as time runs out, giving Texas one more shot to throw it up in the end zone.
So Texas has decided on the strategy they will employ. This is one-play strategy.
Alfred Jackson coming wide to the right side, and that's where it's going.
Gunned. Wrong. And then there's a touchdown. It is taken by Mike Lockett. Mike Lockett for the touchdown. How do you like that for one play?
Well, this is the bowl for the national championship. And Texas, this might do something for him at halftime. Lockett right over the middle on a post pattern, double covered. He holds on to the football.
Great drop back action from McEachern. Good throw, right on the money, and Mike Lockett, as we said, was a very heralded receiver in high school, and he's earning his keep right there, gets the Horns back in the ballgame.
Andy Harrison was there to make the stop. We have a conversion attempt coming now. Eric Slavin. Churchman puts it down. Eric Slavin boots it up. It's good. And so, that is the end of the first half. And the score is Notre Dame 24 and Texas 10. As both teams stream for the tunnel now. Both teams streaming for the tunnel as Texas scores on the last play of the first half to cut the lead. It is Notre Dame 24 and Texas 10 at the end of the first half.
Texas is making it interesting as the teams go into the locker room. The Irish are doing a great job of containing Heisman Trophy winner Earl Campbell, something very few teams did very often. Campbell became famous in 1977, winning the Heisman, and then he became a legend in the NFL with the Houston Oilers. Nicknamed the Tyler Rose, Campbell had an immediate impact his rookie season and burst onto the NFL scene on Monday Night Football.
Earl Campbell breaks the tackle at the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. At the 50, he may go. At the 30, at the 20, at the 10, at the 5, touchdown.
In his first 3 seasons, Campbell led the NFL in rushing while running like a Texas tornado, leaving a path of destruction on his way to becoming pro football's most valuable player 3 consecutive years. Combining toughness with speed, Campbell bowled over would-be tacklers to 74 career touchdowns and a place in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1991. As a former running back, oftentimes people ask me, who was the best running back that you've ever seen play the game? Well, you talk about Walter Payton, Dorsett, there's Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, great players today. Eric Dickerson, a guy I played with. But when you boil it down to one guy, it's Earl Campbell. He could run over you, run through you. The guy was spectacular in his prime. When we return to the 1978 Cotton Bowl, Campbell will have 30 minutes left to achieve his goal of winning the national championship. But for now, Texas trails Notre Dame 24-10.
He was shaking a little, and he got on the wrong man. That's like milking the wrong cow. Gentlemen out there can tackle, believe you me. Running off that field like champions, and that's what I like to see.
Classic Sports Network, graduate school for sports fans.
Join the team with the Classic Sports Network t-shirt. Just call 1-888-LEGENDS, and for only $11.95, you can wear the t-shirt that tells the world you're a Classic Sports fan. It comes in gray or tan, so please specify color and size. And now, for the first time, Classic Sports is offering our limited edition cap. It's only $13.95 and available in both green and white. So call 1-888-LEGENDS and order your Classic Sports gear today.
41 quick on 3. Break.
Monday nights, we're bringing it back. The Mayhem. The Men. The Myths. The games you'll never forget.
throw, Montana. Steps up, throws.
Every Monday night, the greatest moments in NFL history. Catch the NFL Throwbacks Game of the Week, Monday at 11, only on Classic Sports Network.
Classic Sports delivers the fight cards you don't want to miss. A ringside seat to the world's largest library of boxing's best fights. From lightweights to heavyweights, you don't have to wait, because every night is fight night. The Night at the Fights, weeknights on Classic Sports.
Tonight at 9, swing into action with a triple feature thriller when Floyd Patterson and Ingemar Johansson square off for 3 classic hard-hitting championship bouts on Friday night at the Fights. And at 11, Heisman winner Earl Campbell and his #1 ranked Texas Longhorns clash for the national championship against Joe Montana's Fighting Irish of Notre Dame in the thrilling '78 Cotton Bowl. Tonight on Classic Sports Network. You're watching the 1978 Cotton Bowl on 5 Beta Football.
Terry Urick is back there with Steve Schmitz to receive the second half kickoff. Russell Erxleben will kick it off for Texas. Heat up on the 40. He might kick it between the goalposts from there. Just in case he does, it does not count as a field goal. This is a kickoff. 24-10. Notre Dame is leading as we start the second half. Erxleben is waiting for the whistle of referee Vance Carlson. The start forward, and there it is. Down into the end zone. Urick will not run it out. Touchback. First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
You know, Lindsay, if I were going to guess, there's the first half statistics, and actually Texas outgained Notre Dame by over 50 yards, but as we were talking about, those 4 turnovers has been the difference in this ball game.
So now Notre Dame with Joe Montana at quarterback.
I think Freddie Akers had to tell his Texas team at halftime, Paul, this is the most important defensive series for us right now. We've got to stop Notre Dame, hold them deep in their territory, and get good field position.
He said some other things, too.
Jerome Evans carries for Notre Dame, 6 yards out to the 26, where it'll be 2nd and 4. Ricky Churchman up from his strong safety to make the tackle along with Mark Martinoni.
Paul and Lindsay, this Texas team is a very emotional ball club. They're also an extremely close team. You always get the feeling being around them that they genuinely like each other. And they take the situation very, very personally. We look for them to pull together.
2nd down, 4 yards to go for Notre Dame. Running draw, and it's Vegas Ferguson. A yard short of the first down at the 29, where it'll be 3rd and 1. Steve McMichael in to make the tackle. McMichael in to make the tackle for Texas.
There's your quarterback comparison first half. McEachern 6 out of 12, 107. Montana 6 for 17, 56 yards. Both threw for 1 touchdown.
Again, the turnover is the difference.
3rd down and a yard to go, and the Texas defense is being exhorted by the crowd here. But it's a 1st and 10 as Jerome Evans picked it up just across the 30 for Notre Dame. It was Johnny Johnson up from his free safety to make the tackle.
I could also guess what Dan Devine said at halftime, and he says, boys, we've got 30 more minutes of football. You've got a 2-touchdown lead. If you want the national championship, go get it.
Notre Dame 24, Texas 10, early in the 3rd quarter. On a beautiful day at the Cotton Bowl. Again, the running draw, and it's Vegas Ferguson. Well, he lunged for a couple of yards up there to the 37-yard line, where it'll be 2nd and 3. Copeland and Martinoni made the stop.
And they're controlling the line of scrimmage right here. You see Huffman with a great block, right? Took the man, the nose guard, and made him good block. Ferguson keeps his balance here. Good running by Vegas Ferguson.
Jerome Evans, and Evans is up there at the 45-yard line. Got a 1st and 10.
Huffman is just controlling Mark Hamilton right now, Paul. Huffman being the center of Notre Dame, and Mark Hamilton landing head up right on his nose.
Hamilton's a senior from New Mexico. He hasn't logged a lot of playing time this year. As we said earlier, he's been pressed into service because Texas is having trouble in the middle.
They're short of the 45-yard line. Try the draw again, trying those delays, and Evans gets up to the 49-yard line. Picked up about 5, where it'll be 2nd and 5. Martinoni again in to make the tackle.
Well, they find a piece of meat, they chew on it, don't they? They're coming back at Hamilton again and again and again.
And why not? Despite a little weakness. And that has to mean that Dave Huffman, this junior out of Dallas, doing a good job at center.
Yeah, always does a good job.
Right again, the same way. Vegas Ferguson lunging to get to the 6, and I think he got it. First and 10 for Notre Dame. They have the ball at the Texas 45-yard line.
And this drive started on Notre Dame's 20-yard line. They have kept the ball right on the ground.
12 minutes, 13 seconds left in the third quarter. Doman to a wide right. Chris Haynes to a wide left. Now Montana has it. And throws to McAfee. Ball skirted away. Incompleted pass is the call. Incompletion, it's a judgment call. And instead of reception and fumble, the judgment is incompleted pass.
And McAfee's not too happy with it either. Here's a little rollout right, play action. Good pickup by Vegas Ferguson. Now McAfee right there gets really hit. Now what the ruling was, the referee right on top of the play ruled that he did not have possession.
And again, that big hit coming from Johnny Johnson. He's a free safety, and he doesn't have really good size for a free safety, although he is very tall, but he will stick you. Watch that forearm shiver.
Second down and 10 at the 45-yard line. Jerome Evans picked up 2 yards to the 43 as Morgan Copeland made the tackle. It'll be third down and 8 yards to go. Notre Dame in Texas territory. Tom Doman coming in with the next play.
See if they go to the big tight end, Ken McAfee. He's only caught 2 passes there in the first half for 18 yards.
Tight end to the right side. Doman far right. Chris Haynes to the left side. Running back to the I formation. Montana. There's a screen left to Ferguson. Ferguson walking a tightrope down the sideline. Now, the ball got away, but Notre Dame retains possession at the 27. Perhaps 28 as they mark it. Notre Dame at the 28-yard line of Texas. Vegas Ferguson walking the tightrope.
Still was a big first down play. They needed about 8 yards on the screen left to Vegas Ferguson. He's going to get a break now.
He goes out and Terry Urick comes in to replace him.
Fergus really did a good job there because if you'll notice, Johnny Johnson actually read the play, had a chance to make the tackle, didn't execute.
Give it to Jerome Evans to the 22-yard line. Picked up about 7 to make it second down and 3 yards to go.
They're killing them straight up the middle. Looks like they get 4 or 5 there anytime they want to call.
Yeah, you know, you really hate to get down on somebody because obviously the man's doing the best job he can, but in his defense, he's not logged a lot of playing time this year, but that's where they're going.
Second down play coming for Notre Dame. That's Doman in motion across from the wing left. Terry Urick is carrying. Stacked him up.
Texas has certainly realized, obviously, that they are getting killed in the middle, so they've gone back now to the alignment they had at the start of the ball game. Mark Martinoni is back at middle linebacker, and Robinson Line's back in the ball game on the weak side. So Mark Hamilton's been taken out.
3rd and 3. Mark Saya's in there now, double tight end alignment for Notre Dame.
Boy, Lindsey, they've controlled the ball for almost 5 minutes on this drive.
3rd and 3. That's the 22-yard line. Montana. A throw to McAfee, incomplete at the goal line. It'll be 4th and 3 at the 22.
He was open, ball just overthrown by Montana.
Well, he had a decision to make here. He could have run the football, picked up the first down, but McAfee slipped behind the defensive back there, and Montana just overthrew him a little bit.
Defender on the play, Glenn Blackwood, and he's not much of a physical match for McAfee.
39-yard field goal attempt coming up now for Reeves. Dave Reeves' longest during the season was a 51-yarder. Bergmeyer will hold for him with Resnick out with an injury. College football, you use the T, of course. And it is short. It is short. It'll be put in play at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 at the 20 under college rules. So the score is still Notre Dame 24, Texas 10. 9 minutes, 58 seconds remaining in the third quarter of the Cotton Bowl game in Dallas.
We'll be right back with more of the 1978 Cotton Bowl on Phi Beta Football.
generations duel on Home Run Derby, only on Classic Sports Network.
Jackie Roosevelt Robinson.
How about Larry Bird?
No one ever said I couldn't hit. Pride and then Green Bay Packers.
Must be the greatest.
Here at Wrigley Field, the Packers trying to go in for the score. Horning wide to the right. He's at the 10, cuts back at the 5. He's in to score. And Mr. Horning throws it into the seats.
There it goes. First time a ball ever thrown into the stands by a player, wasn't it?
Yes, I guess it was. And it started, I guess, an avalanche of ball players throwing it in the stands. Today, it's outlawed, so to speak. It costs a ball player $50 to throw a football up into the stands. And Hallis was pretty perturbed at that. It was happening at Wrigley Field. And I don't know why I did it. Sports writer said I threw it to a pretty little lady sitting up there. If there had been a pretty lady, I probably would have thrown it up there, but that's not actually why I threw it up there. I don't know why. It was just the reflex.
Anyway, it was an augury of more to come.
Jackie Roosevelt Robinson.
How about Larry Bird?
No one ever said I couldn't hit. Pride and then Green Bay Packers.
Must be the greatest.
What are people saying about Classic Sports Network? 3 words. It's about time.
4, 3, 2, Michael fires. Yeah!
It's about the time Hank broke the Babe's record.
It's gone. It's 7:15.
Or the time Mary Lou was perfect. Classic Sports Network, the only network that brings you the greatest sports stories and personalities of all time, all the time.
We now return to the 1978 Cotton Bowl on 5-Beta Football.
Texas has the ball first and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They are trailing by 14 points. McEachern brings them up, running back to split. Campbell in the left set. Earl Campbell got it. Goes in for 3 yards to the 23, where it'll be 2nd down and 7. Ross Browner came to make the tackle.
Take a look at 55, the middle linebacker, Bob Golick, only a junior, and he'll probably be a #1 round draft choice next year. He's keying on number 20 as Ross Browner got him low, and Golick was right there.
Alfred Jackson goes far to the left side. Now 2nd down and 7 yards to go. Campbell is still in the left set. Rolling is McEachern. Incomplete, trying to get his tight end, Gil Harris. Gil Harris, 82, the man for whom it was intended. 3rd and 7.
The Horns normally do not like to go to their tight ends, so what that's telling you is that Notre Dame is doing an excellent job covering the wide receivers.
I think McEachern might have made a bad decision on that play. He could have run the football, I think, and picked up the 1st down there.
He could have, but he has been admonished by the Texas coaching staff not to run the ball unless absolutely necessary. He's not a good runner. He doesn't pretend to be. And given the choice between stopping up and throwing and keeping the ball, they'd rather have him throw the thing.
It is 3rd down and 7 yards to go. Dropping back again is McEachern. And it is intercepted. Taken by Heimsider. Heimsider, the linebacker. It is 1st and 10, Notre Dame inside the 30-yard line of Texas.
Fifth turnover of the day, Lindsey.
Notre Dame gets the football. Notre Dame is leading 24-10, 9 minutes, 9 seconds in the 3rd quarter.
We'll be right back with more of the 1978 Cotton Bowl on 5-Beta Football.
I love watching classic sports.
Yeah, the fights are awesome. That's what we're talking about. Oh, Ali and Frazier.
The home run derby is my favorite.
The tennis and
the old-time football games.
I'll tell you right now, I'm hooked on it. Just turn on the classic. It's awesome.
Everybody's talking about it. It's just something you cannot miss at all.
I'm hooked on Classic Sports Network. Watch it every night.
I love classic sports.
There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. All Classic Sports programming is now controlled by Wilt Chamberlain.
Your favorite 7-footer.
For 3 hours, August 25th, fall under Wilt's spell as he takes control of all you see and hear. You'll be subject to a great night of classic programming.
My night of programming.
Enter the world of Wilt. Premiering Monday at 8 Eastern and 9 Pacific. Only on Classic Sports Network.
New York Mets are amazing, 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 amazing.
I'll show you what a real champion is. I'll show you what a real champion is. Gives to Amici. The Texas champion. Way out of here.
You're watching the 1978 Cotton Bowl on Phi Beta Football.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Paul Horning, Paul Alexander, Don Crickey, Jack Whitaker at the Cotton Bowl. And we're delighted to have Paul Alexander with us this afternoon. He is the host of Coach Fred Akers' weekly show in Austin, Texas, as well as the sports director of our CBS affiliate in Austin. Notre Dame has the ball first and 10. They have it at the 29-yard line. Back to the left side to Vegas Ferguson. Hops up through the 25-yard line for a gain of 4, where it's going to be second down and 6 yards to go.
Oh, he got popped by Johnny Johnson there. He's going to get up a little bit slow. See if we can pick it up, Paul. Why don't you call this hit?
You know, I'm really impressed with Ferguson because, look, he takes a solid shot from Johnny Johnson and just bounces right off it, tries to keep his feet. He is a tough man to bring down because I'll promise you Johnson will bomb you.
Chris Haynes to the left side, Tom Doman to the right side, running back to the eye, and here is the pitch taken by Vegas Ferguson, looking for a place to turn, and there is none. He's cut off at the pass. Hatchett over on the tackle.
That's the first time we've seen the true option from Notre Dame, isn't it?
That's right. He won't run it too much. Montana, of course, better throwing the football, rolling out, coming back. They don't like to run that option too much with him in there.
Third down and about 8 yards to go. Ball at the 27-yard line. Third down conversions, they are 6 of 10.
Not a bad percentage.
And rolling is Montana, and he's throwing on the run complete. It's taken there by Waymer, who stayed in bounds at the 16-yard line, maybe the 15.
Wide open, out of the eye. Montana will roll out to the left. There's just a little square out pattern over here, and Montana executes just perfect. Hardest pass for the college throwers to throw. Rolling to his left, going to his left. Dave Waymar on the reception.
So it is first and 10 for Notre Dame at the Texas 15-yard line. Running back to the I formation. They're on a wing left, and that is Doman, the wing back across in motion. It is Urick carrying, Terry Urick, and he is stopped for a loss of about a foot and maybe as much as a yard. Martinoni made the tackle. It'll be second and 11 at the 16-yard line.
Being outweighed up front is nothing new for the Texas defense. That's normally been the case week after week after week. So you'll notice that to offset that physical mismatch, Texas will do a lot of looping and stunning in games to try to create some confusion in the offensive line.
Second down, 11 yards to go. Notre Dame 24, Texas 10. 7.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Notre Dame's running in a slot left. Waymer, slot back in motion across. Montana's got the ball. And he throws to Urick inside the 10. Urick out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
That was just a great pitch that time, Lindsey. Montana to Terry Urick. He was actually covered by Robin Senline on the right side. Watch this now. Now, Senline actually has got pretty good coverage there. It's just a good pitch and a good catch. Urick is going to be shaken up right here on this play a little bit.
Can't stop that perfect throw. Actually, a pretty good job by Senline.
So Urick is still down, struggling to get to the first down stick, and he is still down.
In the first half, all 4 Notre Dame scoring drives started after the turnovers inside the 35.
It's going to be a first and goal inside the 5-yard line when play is resumed. First and goal on the 4. Dan Devine, the head coach. That's Merv Johnson right there to his right, the assistant head coach at Notre Dame. First and goal at the 4-yard line. Notre Dame is leading 24-10. 7 minutes, 17 seconds remaining to be played in the third quarter of the 1978 Cotton Bowl game in Dallas, Texas. They come up in a wing right. Evans got to the 3-yard line, and that's all. Second and goal at the 3-yard line. Jefferson in on the tackle.
You know, I don't think we should go any further, Lindsey. We should mention the offensive blocking for the Irish up front. Dave Huffman, the center, a junior, 6'5", 247. He's doing a fine job. The guards, Ted Horansky and Ernie Hughes, and the tackles, Steve McDaniels and Tim Foley, have just been outstanding. They've been giving a lot of holes, especially from tackle to tackle, for the Notre Dame running attack.
Orsini is in there now. Saya's in at a double tight end. Orsini's in at a running back. Instead, it is Vegas Ferguson hitting in for the touchdown. Vegas Ferguson hit it into the end zone for a touchdown.
And there must be a little weakness over there because that's the third time this afternoon that Notre Dame has gone off to the left side for 3 touchdowns. This time it's Vegas Ferguson. In the first half, Terry Urick got 2 at the same spot.
Well, they caught him in the game. Texas was in the blitz that time and just ran to the weak spot.
So it is now Notre Dame 30, Texas 10 with a conversion of Jeff Cummings for the Fighting Irish. Bergmeyer will hold for Dave Reed. Bergmeyer puts it down, Reed boots it up, and it's good. So as they come back up the field in the 1978 Cotton Bowl game after moving 29 yards in 7 plays, it's Notre Dame 31, Texas 10.
You're watching the 1978 Cotton Bowl on 5 Beta Football.
Fight back. This is your opportunity to call the shots. What's the best fight you've ever seen? Or what's the best fight you've never seen but always wanted to? Classic Sports has the largest fight library in the world and wants you in our corner. This is your opportunity to let us know what boxing memories you want to see. Send your entry to Classic Sports Fight Memories, Murray Hill Station, P.O. Box 1830, New York, New York, 10156. If we broadcast your memory, we'll send you a Classic Sports T-shirt. Classic Sports, where the legends fight.
The ladies idolize the ground he walked on. Defenses found him to be unstoppable, and he revolutionized the talk show.
This week on the Joe Namath Show, Tom Seaver will be with us.
I like nervousness and I like pressure because in a good athlete, I think it's going to bring out the best.
And Yafet Kodo.
I am here because I have no money, you see.
The Joe Namath Show, Wednesday night at 8 Eastern and Pacific. Tune in and turn on, only on Classic Sports.
We now return to the 1978 Cotton Bowl on 5 Beta Football. You're watching the 1978 Cotton Bowl between Texas and Notre Dame on 5 Beta Football. Texas has the ball trailing 31-10 in the 4th quarter.
First and 10 now for Texas. The Longhorns have the ball at the 41-yard line. Eachern still quarterbacking. University of Texas. Earl Campbell carried the football across to the 47-yard line. Earl Campbell back in the ball game, and he carried it.
Boy, I like the guts and determination of this guy. He was carried off. Looked like he would not re-enter the ball game. Here he comes right back. They retaped his ankle. He is now over 100 yards rushing. He's got 103 for his 22nd time in his career. He's gone over 100.
He got 6 just there at second down and 4 yards to go. This time it is taken by Johnny Ham-Jones, and Ken Dyke made the tackle. Up just short of the 49, again at 2. Speaking of the national championship, of course, the Texas Longhorns and their followers have felt that even if they lose, they have as good a claim to the national championship as anybody else because they would be only once defeated. They point out that they've had to defend the national championship, the #1 ranking at least, throughout the entire season, something nobody else had to do.
Arguments.
3rd down and 2 yards to go. Kitchen throwing, and it's beyond the reach of Alfred Jackson. Let's go down to Don Crickey.
Lindsay, there is a very marked contrast in the attitude of this Texas team now here in the 4th quarter as the seconds tick away and the possible national championship with it. This was a very enthusiastic team, even trailing 24-10 at the outset of the 3rd quarter. It's not anymore. The Texas players mumbling about the 7 turnovers. This has never happened to them before this season. And right now, it's really a depressed aura around this team as Notre Dame continues to dominate with the 4th quarter wearing on. Lindsay?
All right, Don Crickey, a penalty marker, and the preliminary signal is ineligible pass receiver downfield for Texas. So that is being attended to right now.
Lindsay, it's only normal and natural that the Texas team should be somewhat despondent over what's happening to them right now. But as I said so many times before, this is really a class bunch of guys.
We had ineligible man downfield, covered in on Texas, declined.
Carry on, Paul Alexander.
Okay. As I said, they are a marvelously close group of individuals, and they are not about to quit. They will keep firing and scratching and doing the kind of things that have brought them to that 11-0 record that they had going into the ball game.
Texas has taken a timeout now in a 4th and 3 situation with Notre Dame having declined that penalty. Texas called a timeout to find out exactly what they want to do here, trailing in the ball game by a score of 31-10 with 11 minutes, 49 seconds left to play.
I have to go for it. There's no question about that. 3 touchdowns behind. And just like Paul said, if they're going to scratch, they're going to have to scratch awful deep to dent into a 21-point lead. They continue to try to run inside against this Notre Dame defense. Well, we got a little time. I think I'd like to just say hello to maybe Notre Dame's #1 fan back in Chicago in the hospital, Tootie Cummins, who has never missed a game in 32 years following the Notre Dame at home and on the road. We wish her a speedy recovery and a Happy New Year.
Well said. The Notre Dame band is moving it up here at the Cotton Bowl as Texas comes up in deep punt formation. Eric Slavin is back there.
I'd have to gamble here.
But they snap it short.
3 touchdowns down, Lindsey. I'd have to go for it.
They do snap it short. By the reverse play, and it's read out by Notre Dame.
Doug Becker was right there.
Fakes the handoff.
They gave it to number 27.
Johnny Johnson carried the ball, and the ball goes over. On 4th down, they snapped it short, but it was read out.
A little fancy right here. Out of punt formation. Take it, Paul.
Okay, the snap goes to Ricky Churchman. It's on the reverse, and then the ball goes back to Johnny Johnson, who takes it around the left side. As I said before, they're coming at him with all guns blazing, but Notre Dame's up to it.
Well, naturally, it could have fooled the cameraman, but it didn't fool number 43, Doug Becker.
1st and 10 just across the 50-yard line. This is Jerome Evans, and he is popped. Dwight Jefferson came in to make the tackle, and it is back there at the 49-yard line.
You know, there's been some bad blood between these two teams. I think a lot of it goes back to the Heisman Trophy presentation. I know that Ken McAfee, when he accepted the Outstanding Receiver Award, didn't think that what he was saying was so inflammatory, but some of the Texas players took offense to it. We'll get back to it in a moment.
2nd down and 12 yards to go. Montana has the ball. And the catch is made. Inbounds at the 34-yard line. Waymer, the wingback. Waymer pulled it in.
Here's Montana. It's a little square out pattern on the right side, about 12 yards deep. Dave Waymer, a sophomore out of Charlotte. Good move right there. The Texas corner man have really been giving the Notre Dame receivers a lot too much room.
It's at the 34-yard line of Texas. 1st and 10, Notre Dame at the Texas 34, 10 minutes, 58 seconds left to play. This is Evans. Jerome Evanston to the 29-yard line. Here is the final score in the Sugar Bowl game. Alabama 35, Ohio State 6. Alabama 35, Ohio State 6. So that's another team that will be laying claim to the national championship. Bear Bryant's Crimson Tide is a once-defeated team. These are the Notre Damers who already have begun to lay their claim to the national championship. It'll all be decided in the postseason poll. Ferguson into the 26-yard line, short of the sticks. Glad Shearer, along with Dwight Jefferson, made the tackle.
Notre Dame now very content to keep it on the ground if they can pick up 3 or 4 yards every carry. 30 seconds go off that clock, 25 seconds. Evans is now over 100 yards. 22 carries for Jerome Evans, 101 yards. He's only a junior, and I know Dan Devine is going to be very happy to have him back.
3rd and 2 at the 26-yard line. Double tight end, Mark Saya is in there. Vegas Ferguson looking to get the 6. He's got it. First down, he's gone. They'll never catch him. He's gone. Touchdown, Vegas Ferguson. He has great speed. He can accelerate, and he did.
What a cutback.
26-yard dash for a touchdown.
He caught a 9-yard pass in the first half for a touchdown from Montana. Watch this cutback. There's Ernie Hughes. In fact, he got in front of the guard, and he makes a straight cut. Vegas Ferguson, only a sophomore from Richmond, Indiana, puts Notre Dame on top 37-10.
With a conversion attempt coming as Vegas Ferguson goes to the sideline. He missed a good part of the season with an injury. Gave the offense a great boost when he came back to full-time action late in the season. He's carried 21 times for 94 yards here this afternoon. Dave Reed will attempt the conversion. with Bergmeyer holding for it. And it's good. So as they come back up the field here at the 1978 Cotton Bowl game in Dallas, Texas, it is Notre Dame 38 and Texas 10.
The Irish led 38-10, and that's how the 1978 Cotton Bowl would end, with the Fighting Irish surprisingly just dominating the #1 Longhorns. Throughout the broadcast, you've heard the announcers talking about the possibility of this game leading to an Irish national championship. Ironically, Notre Dame's hopes were held by an Arkansas squad coached by Lou Holtz. Holtz's Razorbacks crushed the #2 Oklahoma Sooners in the Orange Bowl 31-6. That left 3 teams, Notre Dame, Arkansas, and Alabama, all with 11-1 records. When the votes came in, the Irish were awarded the national championship, while Texas dropped to #4. Coach Dan Devine had done what Frank Leahy did, what Ara Parsegan did, and what Lou Holtz would do, win the national championship in his 3rd season at Notre Dame. When we return to 5-8 of football, we'll go back to the 1978 Cotton Bowl and hear from Irish quarterback Joe Montana.
We never called him anything but Mr. Rockney. He was meaningful. And above all, he was teaching kids how to be men, not just play football. The 29-30 team goes back every 2 years for the Southern Cal game. And the first place we go on Saturday morning is out to Rockney's grave, to Mr. Rockney's grave, to have mass for all the team. That's how deep it is. And this is 60 years from the time that he's gone. That'll give you a rough idea how deep it was for us. And it's still there. We love that man.
Everywhere you go on the campus at Notre Dame, particularly on a football Saturday, you just feel that guy's presence. You know, Rockney didn't bring football to Notre Dame, but he definitely brought the magic.
Take off with the greatest players in NBA history and experience a remarkable half-century of basketball. From the majestic Boston Celtics to the dynamic Chicago Bulls, relive 50 years of extraordinary men and memories. Now, Sports Illustrated invites you to celebrate the NBA's golden anniversary with 2 collectibles you'll treasure forever. You'll get your choice of a limited edition classic Sports Illustrated cover featuring 2 of the NBA's top 50 players, Larry Bird or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and the remarkable documentary NBA at 50. Both free with your paid subscription to SI. The NBA at 50 documentary takes you on a fascinating journey through all of the league's golden moments. You'll see superstars and super teams, the personalities, the rivalries, and marquee matchups that define the league's first 50 years. Call now, and you'll also get to pick one of 2 limited edition classic SI covers featuring the official replica signatures of 2 legends of the game, Larry Bird or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Each classic cover is lucite encased and individually numbered, an exclusive collectible from Sports Illustrated. Take your pick between 2 of the best who ever played the game, Bird or Abdul-Jabbar. It's your choice. Call now. Order 54 issues of Sports Illustrated for only $1.48 an issue. Save over 55% off the cover price. For quicker delivery, use your credit card. Don't miss out on this great shot to get 2 legendary collectibles, a classic Sports Illustrated cover, and the remarkable documentary NBA at 50, free from SI and nowhere else. Celebrate NBA history with Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
On classic sports, tennis is usually an elegant game. But this is New York. Mean green slabs. Hard courts, baby.
Get set for this year's Open with host Bud Collins. It's Classic Sports U.S. Open Top 10 Countdown Marathon, Saturday at 6.
You're watching Classic Sports Network.
Welcome back to 5-8 of football. When Notre Dame returned to its locker room after stunning Texas 38-10, there was a big sign scribbled on the blackboard that read, "It's not where you start, it's where you finish." And you finished on top. One of the main reasons Notre Dame finished on top was the insertion of Joe Montana into the starting lineup. After Montana took over the signal calling, The Irish offense averaged nearly 38 points a game. Let's return to Dallas where Don Criqui has Joe Montana.
We do indeed. Joe Montana was the guy who started the season as the number 3 quarterback at Notre Dame, and then in that Mississippi game when they lost, he was on the bench, and the next week, if the Notre Dame ship wasn't sinking, it was indeed in flames when Joe Montana came in and rallied Notre Dame to victory against Purdue, and he's been on top ever since, and you had a great game today, Joe.
Oh, thank you very much. I think I owe a lot of success to the offensive line. They did a great job. Took the ball right up the middle to their defense, and they opened up the holes, and the backs ran super.
You know, coming into the game, your coaches said they had never seen Notre Dame teams so keen in practice. Some of the coaches, like Joe Yotto, heads up the defense. In all the years he's been at Notre Dame, had never seen practices as sharp as you had this week. You guys are really ready.
Yeah, I think, you know, coming down here, playing the #1 team, and possibly for the national championship had a lot to do with that. We had a lot of, you know, spirited workouts this week. We had one day we were down, but the next day we made up for it. We were twice as high as before, and just had a great week of practice.
Now, Joe, you're a junior. You'll be back next year with most of your offensive backfield, all of it, I guess. Huh?
Yes, I will. I'm looking forward to that, and starting probably in February sometime.
I guess it was kind of difficult coming away. You're away for Christmas. You came down here on December 23rd. You worked in the Cotton Bowl. In a sense, it was a home game for Texas. They played 2 regular season games here, but you fellas seemed to take to that field.
Yeah, you know, the turf was a little rough on our legs when we first came down, and like you said, it was almost a home game for Texas. I think 75% of the fans were for Texas, but all the work coming down before Christmas and spending it here where I think paid off.
Joe, again, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You heard in that interview that Joe Montana had 1 season left at Notre Dame. Once again, he and the Irish traveled to Dallas for the Cotton Bowl, and once again, the trip was memorable. In that game, Notre Dame was trailing the Houston Cougars 34-12, putting an exclamation point on his legend as the comeback kid. Montana led the Irish to a thrilling, and I mean thrilling, come-from-behind win. He threw a touchdown pass to Chris Haynes with no time left on the clock, giving the Irish a 35-34 victory. That classic college football game can be seen also right here on Phi Beta Football. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Phi Beta Football. I'm Craig James. Classic Sports Network will continue in a moment.
Joe Montana, who came off the bench in the Purdue game to bring Notre Dame from behind, and has been quarterbacking them ever since. Montana's throwing. And it's in the end zone, touchdown.
Tonight at 9, swing into action with a triple feature thriller when Floyd Patterson and Ingemar Johansson square off for 3 classic hard-hitting championship bouts on Friday night at the Fights. And at 11, Heisman winner Earl Campbell and his #1 ranked Texas Longhorns clash for the national championship against Joe Montana's Fighting Irish of Notre Dame in the thrilling '78 Cotton Bowl. Tonight on Classic Sports Network.
Jackie Roosevelt Robinson.
How about Larry Bird? That's all.
No one ever said I couldn't hit. Pride and being Green Bay Packers.
I must be the greatest.
There comes a time in a guy's life when he should be able to look another guy in the eye and talk to him. Well, I was a freshman, and we ran an option play around right end at practice. And I pitched the ball. I got hit him on the ground, and the ball's bouncing on the ground. I'm getting up off the ground, and I hear Coach Bryant's voice. Darn it, name it, not just your job to go ahead and pitch that ball and quit. I want you to get on that ball when you see it on the ground. And I'm getting up and walking back with my head down saying, yeah. And the next thing I knew, he had my head up, looking at him, and said, boy, when I talk to you, you look me in the eye and say, sir. I said, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. And you know what? 4 years later, 3 years later, I could be practicing 3 football fields away when Coach Bryant said, Joe, I was right there. Yes, sir. You know, let's get it straight.
Jackie Roosevelt Robinson.
How about Larry Bird? That's all.
No one ever said I couldn't hit. Pride and being Green Bay Packers.
I must be the greatest.
Sports Network, the greatest new network in the history of sports.
2 study years gone by, you could watch Truman's surprise win over Dewey in 1948. Or check out the surprise win of the Miracle Mets in the 1969 World Series. You could study Nixon's near-perfect sweep in the 1972 election. Or watch total perfection as the '72 Dolphins become the NFL's only undefeated team. If you see history a little differently, watch the Classic Years in Sports, Sunday and Thursday at 7, only on Classic Sports Network.
Jackie Roosevelt Robinson.
But no one ever said I couldn't hit.
Proud and Green Bay Packers.
I must be the greatest.
We felt like we were the better team, but I don't think any of us anticipated 17 below zero. And the chill factor much colder than that when we played.
And I tell you, it was probably the worst experience of my life. It was just miserable, but what made it even worse was the fact that when we went out on the field, the Cowboys were all bundled up, and many of the Packers came out with just T-shirts on.
I didn't feel the cold as much that day as I would have on a normal day. I was excited about the game. We had a great deal of emotion, a great deal of adrenaline running through our bodies, and we had a job to do.
We knew we were in trouble.
Meredith was sitting in the huddle, and he gets down on one knee and he goes, "Red right, hang on." I said, "That's easy for you to say, Don, but what did you say?" He said, "Red right, hang on two." And what was happening was his cheeks were freezing.
8 seconds into the fourth quarter, the frozen lips of Don Meredith formed a bold but risky call. A halfback option pass from Dan Reeves to Lance Rensel. The pass not only sliced through high winds and frigid air, but seemed destined to carve out the Cowboys' first NFL championship. The Cowboys achieved their first lead, 17-14. Trapped inside their igloo, the Packers appeared a beaten team.
When we came on the field as a team to start that drive, everybody in that huddle had the look that we were going to get it done somehow, some way.
But that play was discussed on the sidelines. Now, as far as going for the touchdown and not going for the field goal, that was my decision from the sideline. That's not Starr's decision in the game.
Starr begins the count. Takes the snap. He's got the quarterback.
I saw Bart. I said, "Wow, what a dumb play." Then when he scored, I said, "Yeah, what a great play." Because if he had not have scored, you run a quarterback sneak for 2 yards, that's not a great call, but when it works, it's wonderful. And it wasn't even a quarterback sneak. He was going to give the ball to Chuck Mercine. It just so happened that Chuck actually helped the play because Bart took it and moved, and Chuck kind of gave him a little push that kind of got him over.
Jackie Roosevelt Robinson.
But no one ever said I couldn't hit.
Proud and Green Bay Packers.
I must be the greatest.
What's your favorite sports memory? Is it Reggie's 3 homers in Game 6? Or Michael's 6 3-pointers in Game 1? Or maybe it was the time you and your dad had the best seats in the house. Send your favorite sports memory to Classic Sports Network, Murray Hill Station, P.O. Box 1830, New York, New York, 10156. Because we want to hear what you want to see. Last year, the Pack was back. But can they go back-to-back? Classic Sports gets you ready for the upcoming season as Hall of Famer Joe Namath looks into the future by looking at the past. Find out why only Lombardi's Packers, Schuler's Dolphins, Pittsburgh Steel Curtain, Montana's Niners, and America's Cowboys have repeated as Super Bowl champs. And hear repeat offenders Bart Starr and Bob Greasy, along with NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue, predict whether Favre can lead his Packers to 2 in a row. Watch Countdown to Kickoff, premiering Tuesday at 8 Eastern and 10 Pacific, only on Classic Sports.
Jackie Roosevelt Robinson.
Forgot about Larry Bird, that's all. No one ever said I couldn't hit.
Pride and being Green Bay Packers.
I must be the greatest!
We had this football team, the Washington Redskins, under our control for nearly 56 minutes. And then on one play, you see control start to fly out the window. They were down 14-0. If we kicked the field goal, the point spread would have gone 3 more points up to 17-0. But instead, at that point where the ball was snapped and the place kick was mishandled and Yepremian ends up with the ball and you see him rambling around trying to decide what to do with the ball. And the worst thing he could have done of everything was what he did, was attempt to throw it and then erratically having the ball bounce off of his shoulder pads and knock it up in the air and into the hands of, I believe it was Mike Bass. And Mike Bass takes it all the way for a touchdown, and you know that the Redskins are going for the onside kick, and you know that they are the best at that. So it seemed like that dream of ours was slowly starting to slip out of our hands after all of that work. After the commitment, the hard work, the dedication, and the sacrifice, and getting to this point where we had the ball game in control, now it was slowly getting out of our hands. We did not begrudge Garrow, or we didn't treat him ill or anything. You know, we were elated that we got the onside kick and got control of the football again, and then we had an opportunity to control our own destiny from that point, which was to run out the clock.
Jackie Roosevelt Robinson.
Forgot about Larry Bird, that's all. No one ever said I couldn't hit.
Pride and being Green Bay Packers.
I must be the greatest!